This past year was incredibly busy in the litigation front, in the legislative front, in the public awareness front. You would think after 20 years it would start to slow down, but it actually is the other way around. The cases just never stop coming. People who look like they're innocent require our work.
He didn't get to see me grow up. I just remember getting a call like, you're not gonna see Dad for a while. We'll be talking like this for a while. And I'm like, why? I was 7. I'm 23 today.
It's been really rough. It's hard dealing with someone who is incarcerated. It takes a toll on not just them, but also takes a toll on the family outside.
One of the remarkable things about Richard Horton's case is that the DNA testing that freed him was from fired shell casing. So, when someone fires a gun, as happened in that case, the shell casings fall on the floor, the police can come and collect them later, and the heat process of firing would destroy the DNA.
We talked to the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, who, to their credit, actually agreed to have the casing sent off for DNA testing.
This is a good day. I'm not going to cry or be sad. This is a good day. I just really hope he comes home today.
It's a big step that most people don't get to. As much as you sort of live with it and as much work as it takes to make it happen, I don't think anything can prepare you for that very first time when he comes out. So much pain and joy and all of these feelings that have been building up. What can you do but sob?
I feel extremely blessed. I just want to take this time to thank God, to also thank the Innocence Project. They believed in me when no one else believed in me. They put in a lot of time and a lot of hard work. It's really not all about me. It's all about the Innocence Project and the work that they do. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. Oh, man. We did it, baby. We did it, baby.
Now bring forward House Bill 8 for its first hearing.
Well, it's been an amazing year on the policy side of the office. There are moral reasons, there are legal reasons, there are constitutional reasons, there are common sense reasons to support this bill. For the first time in Ohio history, we now have a law that requires law enforcement agents to record custodial interrogations of people charged with most major felonies.
And we'll hear sponsored testimony from Representative West and Representative Plummer.
Even in these difficult times, government can work. It had broad bipartisan support.
Words matter. When we're interrogating people at 2 in the morning, the suspects are tired, the law enforcement officers are tired, so let's record the interviews.
A comprehensive recording of interrogation is objective evidence of what happens in the interrogation room.
The custodial interrogation recording law became effective in August and is now in full effect.
February 12th of 91, sentenced to 22 to 56 years.
We started investigating in 2003. We filed to free him in 2007. We finally got him out in 2011.
Thought we proved beyond a reasonable doubt that I wasn't even close to being the person.
The state continued to appeal, so his exoneration wasn't final until 2017. Almost 2 decades of fighting.
This is quite a time to be working on one person's case.
It took until 2021 to get him declared innocent by the state of Ohio.
Montgomery County State Court had to recognize that I was wrongfully convicted. When that ruling come down, I knew that that was going to be a big load off of me because that was the end. There's no more litigating for them on that part of the case. It's over. So December 9th, going back into the courtroom for the first time was an extremely hard thing to do. You're full blown in a PTSD suit, walking into that room that took your life from you. To have the people that stuck with us and to be able to call people to let them know that it was finally over it was a great day. The night before, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna say. There's no reason to be angry because the people who done it are not gonna be there. So you screaming and yelling at a judge who's doing the right thing doesn't help things. I had some drafts that they couldn't be put on at a cussing contest. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to read this statement. I have no ill feelings toward the victims at all. They were also victims in this, just like me. The system failed them, and I wish them peace.
To say I wish the victims peace, I have no ill will towards you. I mean, these are the people who accidentally sent him to prison.
I've never had animosity toward the victims. So, I wanted to recognize that they were done wrong too. Justice has not been served in that case for them. I would like to thank my family and my friends, my advisors, the Ohio Innocence Project, and the many others for their belief in me and the dedication to seek the truth over the last 31 years. Well, as of yesterday, it was 3,035 people it's happened to since 1989 and served over 27,000 years. That's crazy. I'm also standing here to represent others that I personally know, others that are in this fight to seek their own truth, to show that the system, with patience, lots of patience, works. Thank you.
Sometimes I think the public focuses on a city like Cleveland or Columbus or Cincinnati, and we certainly have had successes in urban areas like that. We have an obligation to make sure that we're reaching people no matter where they live within Ohio. What we have to do is make sure that we're reaching out to places that don't get as much attention.
Pierce has set up chapters at Shawnee State and Tiffin and Defiance, these places that produce a lot of law enforcement graduates.
Defiance is a school that trains not only law enforcement agents, but people who are going to go into education, into social services, all of whom can help us prevent wrongful convictions from occurring in the first place. Our goal is to help students help us educate their communities, both on campuses and the communities around them. Really, the credit goes to the advisors and the students who maintain each one of these programs, no matter what the circumstances.
One of the first things I do in the morning when I get up is I do my prayers. And I thank him for waking me up every day and for bringing me home, but I also ask him to please clear my name. Lord, please just exonerate me. Just clear my name. Don't let this horrible thing hang over my head any longer. My oldest son said every time my mom goes into a courtroom, I'm so afraid she's not going to come out. And that's the fear that they have, because that's what happened. They grew up without me and they graduated from high school. They got married, they had children, and I could not be any part of that. And that was just so devastating.
Well, Nancy and Dean, these are cases I started working on when we first opened our doors back in 2003, 2004. They're like family now.
Mark's been with me through a whole lot. Both parole boards, the agreement.
We actually got exonerated. She got freed in 2009, but then the Ohio Supreme Court overturns it in 2013 on a technicality. We had to work out some sort of deal just to keep her from going back to prison.
I've lived in a prison 28 years. I might be out here and I might have been free for the last 13 years. But really, have I ever been really free? No, I've had this hanging over my head for all these years. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, I was in a prison. Hopefully tomorrow those gates are gonna open.
The new prosecutor in office came in a year ago. We started working with him, and he was convinced that she was innocent. And so we saw something we haven't really ever seen before, a prosecutor agreeing with us that even though her exoneration had previously been overturned, he's going to step forward and do the right thing.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the court for its guidance as I have attempted to navigate my way through these matters. I'd also like to thank and recognize defense counsel, Mark Gotze and Sharon Katz on behalf of Ms. Smith, and Ricky Parsons and Paula Brown on behalf of Mr. Allen for their tireless work over many years advocating for their innocent clients. And to Ms. Smith and to Mr. Allen, I want to say that I apologize to you, especially for what was done to you and to your families as a result of this ill-conceived prosecution. On behalf of the state of Ohio, I wish nothing but the best for you and your loved ones. And I hope that in the future, only happiness and good fortune may follow you.
I'm shaking, I'm sorry.
Take your time.
First of all, I would like to thank God for giving me the strength and the faith to see this day before me. I would like to say thank you to Judge Burge for bringing me back on February 4th, 2009, for seeing the truth, which was the start of this journey that brings me here today. I would like to thank you, Judge Cook, and you, Prosecutor Tomlinson, and all the investigating team from the prosecutor's office for helping to restore my faith back into the justice system that had failed me 28 years ago. To my lawyers, Mark Gotze and Sharon Katz, and to all the students and the staff at OIP, my family, my community, for never giving up on me and to help me seek justice for the alleged crime that has never occurred.
Members of the public, this matter is adjourned. Thank you all for your attention and all the hard work that went into it from everybody. And I wish Ms. Smith and Mr. Allen nothing but the best as well. This matter is adjourned.
All right.
I couldn't have pictured that 20 years ago when we started OIP, that if you fight long enough and you keep, as Dean says, yelling and screaming, the idea that this guy's innocent starts to sound more familiar, and they can start getting past their prejudices and biases and look at it more objectively. And some of the cases that we have now, like, look, we lose cases we should win because the system's not fair, it's stacked against us. But we need to not give up and never give up and look at it from every single possible angle, a political campaign, the media, and there's a chance that you'll be able to swing it back around in your favor in the long run.